we are back with the third and final ship from Wave 24 of Attack Wing, and it's this familiar old gem, the Klingon D7 / Katinga / Romulan ship that's been used several times. Finally, they've actually made sure that we've got two waves that it's been in where the bridge is correct and the engines are the right way around. Nice little model. This is the Romulan version that they cowboyed up for the original series for the Enterprise incident for season 3. It's a Romulan D7 / Katinga class cruiser. Nice bit of hull detailing. They've kept a base coat of silver and then overlaid the gold onto all the sort of highlighted panels. So it looks pretty decent. It's all nice and straight. The engines are a bit weird. Why they're not actually as straight as they should be, I'm not sure. Does look like they're a bit forced in a downward position. I would have thought they were a bit more straight than that. But overall, it's a really nice little model. The only complaint that I've got, and this is because it's just a complete reuse, is that it's still got the Klingon emblem on the bottom. Sorry. It's still got the Klingon emblem on the bottom there, as you can see, even though it's a Romulan ship. But I suppose you can use it for whatever you want to. If you want to use it as a D7 or a Katinga, you can use it for any of those, I suppose. But yeah, nice little ship. Cool. I like it. I've liked all of the ones they've done of these though, so yeah, it's pretty cool. Standard really, 3 in attack, 1 agility, 3 hull, 2 shield. Algeron, as we said on there. Standard actions: your evade, your target lock, your shield and your sensor echo. Forward firing arc of a 90-degree there for you. So a standard kind of setup for a ship of this type. Let's have a pop through and look at the Algeron then. So it is, as we said, 3132 on your stats. The unique action when attacking with your primary weapon, if your ship is not cloaked during the declared target step, you may perform a 1 forward maneuver before choosing an enemy ship to attack. So you've got a bit of flexibility in your manoeuvring here. Your captains with this pack are not the most powerful ones you will find, but having the ability to just kind of give you that extra 1 forward does mean you can then pick out a better target to take on. We've already gone through the actions on this one. You've got a tech, a weapons and a crew upgrade for 18 points with this one. And if we take a look, just pull that one aside for a second, you'll find that you do lose 1 shield as usual. You also lose that tech upgrade option from your standard ship, and it takes it down to 16 points. Again, it's the generic version, so you do lose that unique action as well. Once more, we have that standard sort of 4 forwards maximum speed with your greens in the banks at 1 and 2 and straight forward. You've got a red come about at the range 3 with a full set of actions at 2 and 3 as well. So it's still the standard kind of action manoeuvres. We're not getting very exciting manoeuvring differences at this point. I know this is a ship that's been out before, so really the manoeuvres are going to be restricted by what we've had previously, because this will just be a generic replacement card. It's just a shame that we're getting stuck into this standard kind of formation of all the range 3s, all the range 2s, basic 1s and a 4 forward. But hey, there you go. There you go. My opinion, just for this one. Captain options, as usual, you have your generic Romulan. There's Mr. Generic Romulan, just to show you which one you get. 1 point. Captain skill, doesn't cost you anything. And then you have 2. You have Liviana Chavanek, who is your captain, the female Romulan commander from the Enterprise incident, which this pack is very much based on. She has captain skill of 5. She's unique. She has an elite action, and she costs you 3 points. If your ship has the cloak action on its action bar, place the cloak token beside your ship, then immediately perform an additional action from your action bar. Great. So you can cloak and then do another action, which is quite unusual, because usually it's a case of you cloak and that's pretty much it. And then you've got to kind of sail off into the distance. Here at least you can cloak and then maybe scan or battle stations. Cloak and then you can evade, or you could target lock. It's up to you. You've got some options here to be able to play around with. So nice that you're going to get a bit of flexibility, puts you in a better position when you do decloak potentially. So yeah, nice card. 5 point captain skill, a bit low, but you know what, you could probably live with it. Tal is your second captain option. He has a score of 3, costs you 2 points. If your ship is not cloaked, you may perform a battle station action as your standard action, even if the battle station action is not on your ship's action bar, which of course if it's a Romulan ship it will not be, because you only have evade, target lock, cloak and sensor echo. Can't perform any free actions during this round in which you use this ability. Yeah, I can understand that one, seeing as you're going to be using an ability that you haven't got on your ship. It's a bit of a freebie. Interestingly, no disable on this one, so you can just keep reusing this one as much as you want, which is great. It gives you effectively a 5th action which you can perform on your ship. Nice action to be able to use battle stations. So yeah, like him, good option, good chance to increase what your ship is capable of doing. Let's go to plasma torpedoes. I'll just get these weapons one out of the way now because they're all pretty standard. Plasma torpedoes increases your weapons up to 4 from the 3 that you've got on the ship, up to 4. Range 1 to 2, costs you 3 points. It's your weapon. It's a torpedo card, effectively. You use your target lock, you place the 3-time target on the card, and it regenerates. You can re-roll your blank results one at a time, and you can fire it from your forward or rear arcs, which is a shame because this one's only got a forward arc, so you probably use it more effectively on other ships. Sorry, don't waste my time too much with those kind of ones, well, because we know that they come in every single pack you get. Tech upgrade for this one is Impulse Drive. You can disable this card to perform a white manoeuvre if there is an auxiliary power token beside your ship. If you do so, you must skip your perform action step. Cool. There you go. What did we say? It's a decent card. You can effectively perform a white manoeuvre instead of having to worry about using the green manoeuvre and getting yourself out of using that auxiliary power token. Yeah, it's great. You will find that you've got a bit more manoeuvrability thanks to that, but you will lose the ability to have any action. So I would say this is very much a retreating card, one that's going to get you out of trouble rather than putting you into trouble. A good sort of final opportunity to do a bit of regrouping. Interesting, you've got the ability to only equip one of these per ship, but not really a shocker, because then otherwise you'd just be getting in and out of trouble all the time, just using this to kind of help yourself out. So yeah, standard one, good idea for 2 points, that it's going to potentially save your game, allow you to regroup with your other maybe more powerful ships or even your support craft, yeah, nice one. Very simple idea, but probably very worthwhile having. 2 elite upgrades with this one. We'll start with Command Pod, which when defending during the compare results step, you can discard this card to cancel any 1 dice result, which is great. So that doesn't actually say which dice result you're cancelling. Logic would say that it would be the damage or a critical damage one on your opponents, and it can only be fielded by a captain assigned to a D7 class ship. Doesn't specify Romulan. So you could use it, I suspect, on a Klingon D7, just as a thought. Doesn't specify Romulan captain, doesn't specify Klingon captain. So there's no restrictions on this card, which is interesting to see. I think that's potentially a bad bit of wording. It maybe should have been Romulan captain assigned to a D7, but hey. 4 points, as we said. Nice, gives you a bit more flexibility, gives you a bit of breathing space, allows you to effectively save your damage on your ship. You remember, you've only got 3 hull and 2 shield to play with, so there's not a lot to start off with. Finally, for this pack, elite action, we've got 1 crew option to go. Your cloaked attack when attacking with your primary weapon, during the roll attack dice step. You may discard this card and spend your cloak token to gain 2 attack dice. Hang on. Let's just read that one back. So when attacking with your primary weapon, yeah, we get that bit. During the roll attack dice step, you may discard this card and spend your cloak token to gain 2 attack dice. So that's assuming that you are cloaked to begin with. You have then flipped that cloak token, which remains there for the rest of your go. I'm taking it as then spending this token to gain yourself 2 attack dice. With the D7, of course, that would take you up to 5 on your attack, which is ironically the cost of the card. So that's the way I would read it, is that you are flipping it to decloak, to attack, and then you're spending that red token. It doesn't say if it's a green or a red one. It would make sense that it would be a red token that you're doing it with this one. Finally, crew. Nearly forgot this one, I have to be honest. It is Romulan Technical Officer. He allows you to be disabled to place a scan token beside your ship. You can't perform the scan action as a free action this round. So you've got 2 cards within this pack which are allowing you to do 2 actions which you cannot do as a basic on this ship. You've got scan with this one, and you've got Tile, who allows you to do the battle stations action. So these 2 could be quite useful. You're going to get 6 actions effectively from 2 cards and the ship. Upgrade can only be purchased for a Romulan ship, and no ship can have more than one of these Romulan Technical Officers. Means that you're using this as a standard action, so you are using a slot to effectively give yourself another basic action. It is a disable for the Technical Officer card, so you can't reuse him for however many goes before you reactivate him. Interesting choice. Interesting to see it done. Very unusual that you get effectively all 4 actions within the pack, plus you get the scan, the cloak, and the sensor echo features, which are basics on the Romulan ship anyway. Would you want to put battle stations and scan on with using Tile as your captain and the Romulan Technical Officer? I think maybe it's an option. It certainly gives you a lot of stuff to be able to play with, a lot of things you can do. Imagine if you're putting that in there with your command pod, for example, as well. You've got a lot of things you can play with, and a lot of options you can do with regards to scanning and battle stations, and then increasing your attack as well. So definitely an option worth playing with. 2 points for a disable. It's very, very cheap. Finally, your mission is steal the cloaking device. Shocker, shocker. So it starts off with 2 players. You've got 8 mission tokens. I've liked some of the missions within this Wave 24 because they've kind of gone a little bit weird again. So the Romulan player, the job is basically to destroy the Federation ship, and the Federation player is to exit through the north end of the playing field, up here, with the cloaking device. So you have 90 points for the Romulans, including 3 Romulan ships, one of which must be the D7. None of them can have a hull greater value than 3, and none of them can use their cloak or sensor echoes. The Federation ship has a hull of 4 or less and must leave 1 upgrade slot unfilled, which is of course for nicking the cloaking device, which I do believe you use the there you go, stolen cloaking device. You've got 6 goes, you've got 6 mission tokens to wait until you can actually use it, but then there is of course restrictions on how you're going to use it. And if you roll one of these damage results, you've installed it, and you can use the cloak and the sensor echo actions. If you roll only damage results, you can use it as a free action, which is great, and you can only no ship may have the upgrade deployed that allows it to be removed from the play area. So it's a good little piece of kit. You can use a cloaking device on a Federation ship, and just because it is of course in Wave 24, you would be more than likely wanting to play that one against your D7s. So there we have it. That's Wave 24 complete. We have the Enterprise, we have the D7, and of course we've had the Vorcha Drovana as well as part of that wave. So Wave 25 is coming up, and I do believe that we have a repainted Scimitar, a repainted Negvar, and a Galaxy-class starship, the USS Venture, as part of Wave 25. So it's going to be a very different wave. I may not, because we've done the Negvar and the Scimitar already, I may not redo those reviews, but we shall see. Until then, please give us a thumbs up, rate, review. Please let us know what you're thinking. Would you use any of these ships yourself? And also, please, if you've got time, drop across, listen to our podcast, and we shall talk to you soon.
Transfer